Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Star Bazaar and to another news update for Star Wars Battlefront 2. We've only got a few things to cover today, but it's some important stuff, including additional information surrounding the upcoming Droidekas and the TX-130 tank, and just some setting straight of the record surrounding Mace Windu and the supposed tease that he's coming to Battlefront 2. Let's check it out. Before jumping into it, if you guys could give the video a thumbs up, I would really appreciate it, as it does help boost the video within YouTube, and also leave a comment below letting me know whether or not you'd like to see Mace Windu in Battlefront 2. But with that, take a seat, and let's check out the news. Starting off with the new information about the Droidekas and the TX-130 tanks, there seemed to be some confusion with the last community transmission. In the CT, it said that both the Droidekas and the TX-130 would be new reinforcements coming to Battlefront 2 in the June update. While this is cool, this brought up some questions. What reinforcement class will the Droideka be? Will it be a new one or become part of an existing one? Is the tank a reinforcement too or a true vehicle? We now have the answers to these questions in the form of tweets made by our community manager, Jay. When it comes to the Droidekas, I actually asked Jay myself whether they and the TX-130 would be part of the Enforcer class, since the wording of the community transmission kind of made it sound like that would be the case. Jay responded saying he believes the TX-130 will be a part of the Armor class, putting it up there with the Imperial AT-ST and the Separatist AAT tank, making the TX-130 a true vehicle and not a reinforcement. I think most of us expected this to be the case, but it is nice to have some level of confirmation on this. He didn't respond then about the Droidekas, but he later tweeted this out, which basically confirms that, yes, the Droidekas will indeed be a part of the Enforcer class. He retweets a question from Joshua, who asks, "Hey Jay, just wondering how many Enforcers can the droids have on the battlefront at once in addition to the Droideka?" Jay's answer was, no changes here. The Droideka and B2 Super Battle Droid will share the same number of Enforcer units. So basically all this means is that the number of Enforcers that can be out will be the same, and that number will be shared between both Enforcer types. So let's say the limit is 4 Enforcers. You could have 2 Supers and 2 Droidekas, or 3 Droidekas and 1 Super, or even just 4 Supers. The limit doesn't change, but we now have a choice in which Enforcer we get to play as. This actually brings me hope that one day the clones will have an Enforcer that is not a Wookiee. If Clone Commandos ever do make it into Battlefront 2, they could just be the second Enforcer along with the Wooks, and that way we could have a choice like with the Droideka. Either way though, it's nice to have confirmation that the Roly Boys will indeed be a part of the Enforcer class, and no, the B2 Super Battle Droids are not going anywhere. Next, Jay had some insight into the lack of requested hero skins that the community has been talking about for months now. Though this month we are getting General Skywalker and new clones, we still have no word on new Luke skins, no Darth Maul or Vader skins, no Palpatine skins, and these are all characters who have had additional appearances heavily requested for a very long time now. Jay had this to say on the matter. Ultimately, we tend to prioritize other content than appearances first. For example, reinforcements and features. That's not to say we're not going to add more, we just did, but we don't have anything else to share in that regard for now. So that's as clear-cut an answer as we're getting. The skins are just not a priority. They'd rather work on the new features and reinforcements before dedicating time and resources to new skins. It's a bummer, especially for players like myself who have been wanting new Luke skins, but maybe after the Droideka release we might see a few requested skins here and there. Now let's go over this so-called Mace Windu Tease that popped up in the concept art for Felucia, which is coming to Battlefront 2 this fall. If you look all the way over to the right side, you can see, very clearly, a clone trooper, and I boosted the saturation so it's easier to see the color, but he has some purple markings on his armor. Fans of Star Wars Legends might recognize that clone legion as the 187th, the attack battalion that was led by Jedi Master Mace Windu during the Clone Wars. Their armor had purple markings, signifying them as Mace's clone legion, since purple is his color. But the interesting thing about seeing this clone in the concept art is that the 187th Legion is no longer canon. Battlefront 2 only deals in canon material, so it's strange to see this clone here. Battlefront 2 is a canon game, and has introduced a few new legions into the Star Wars canon, so it's definitely not outside the realm of possibility, But in the current canon, Mace did not have his own specific legion of clones that he commanded. He was just an all-around general during the war. The reason I say this is not a tease for Windu is because A, the Clone Legion is no longer canon, B, back in April, Jay said that heroes are not a focus right now, and C, this is concept art. Concept art will always have some elements that go unused in the final build. Just look at early concept art for Kashyyyk, and you'll see mini spider droids, which we never see ever, and stap speeders, which weren't available until Capital Supremacy was released on that map. I'm not saying we will never get the 187th. I'm not even saying we're never getting Mace Windu, because Jay did say that he's not off the table. All I'm saying is that just because we see a clone with purple markings on his armor in concept art, we should not take that as a tease for Mace Windu. If you hear anyone say, Mace Windu is basically confirmed because his clone legion is in this concept art, you should take that with the biggest grain of salt possible. Heroes are not a focus right now. The team is working on other things like the non-PvP experiences and the new planet Felucia. We might see Windu in Battlefront 2 at some point. In my opinion, not before Ahsoka, but just keep in mind that this is not a tease for Windu. Windu is not confirmed. Don't go out and say Windu is teased because, quite simply, he isn't. Once DICE says Windu is coming to the game, then we can talk about a Windu tease. But with that, that's all the information I have today for Battlefront 2. If you guys enjoyed the coverage, be sure to hit that thumbs up button and consider subscribing to the channel if you're new. Also, let's discuss this stuff down below in the comments. I don't want to come off as harsh with the Windu stuff. I'm just trying to be as realistic as possible so that we don't set ourselves up for disappointment. But that's going to do it from me. I appreciate you all stopping by the bazaar. This has been your boy, Turkish Delight, and I will see you all out on the battlefront. Peace.